Great. Okay. We're going to come into the ankle now. So I'm going to bring one foot in front of the other, ball a foot on floor, and circle. Make sure you're circling at the ankle and not just the knee. Go the other way. Let that stop. Come to the other foot. Ball a foot on floor, circle the ankle. So this strengthens the muscles that support the ankle joint. Go the other way. Let that close. Now, if you're at all worried about balance while you're standing, feel free to step behind your chair. I'm going to stay in front of the chair for a bit so you can see what I'm doing. But the chair is there for you if you want it. Let's find mountain pose. So mountain pose, I'm going to come into my feet and move around on the feet. Find all four corners of your feet, all four corners. Lift up your toes, spread them as wide as you can, and then place them down one at a time. Don't worry, nobody can do it, but you got to feel your toes. You got to find your toes. Now find the heel on both sides, across the ball of the feet. Look down and see if your feet are straight forward. So we tend to stand a little bit so that the feet are wide. But for this, we want the alignment of the knee right. So have your feet right under you, straight forward. The big toe straight across. We're going to build the pose from the ground up. So you feel your feet. The legs are straight, but the knees are not locked. So knees are not locked. Then come to the front of your spine. Lift the front of spine. Let the top of arm bone settle towards back of body. Often that lets the palms face forward. Let the crown float. So you want to find the sweet spot where the weight of the head is being held by the spine. So you might bring your jaw back slightly. Let the crown float. Let the inside of your mouth soften. This is mountain pose. I'm going to talk through a little bit more of it. So your eyes can be closed or soft. Feel your feet again. Make sure you know how your toes are. Feel your toes. Bring your belly button gently in and up. Belly button in and up. Lifting front of spine without a lot of effort, but it's so that you're aware of holding your body. Now, for yoga, you want to feel the grounding. Settle down into your feet. Feel the grounding. At the same time, lift your tailbone. Feel the spine. Feel the energy come right up into the spine. Let your arms not be heavy. Sometimes I think about tucking a parachute right under my armpit so that the top of your torso can float, even as you're holding a steady, strong pose. Now, sometimes we tend to arch the low back as we're standing. Something that will help even that out is to come to the xiphoid process, which is this spot right at the bottom of the sternum. Energetically connect that spot with your tailbone. So you've stacked your joints, you've stacked your bones. I'm just going to ask you to take a few breaths in mountain. See if you can find where your stress is, what you're holding tight. You can let all of that stress go and still hold a strong pose. Be with your breath. Feel your breath. So we're going to come out of mountain now by taking a deep breath in, a long release. Let the pose go. But now let your body remember what it's like to have your muscles stacked, your bones stacked. It's an easier way to stand. So open your eyes. We're going to come into a sun breath. Hands cross in the front. Inhale, come up. This time reach your hands up. Keep reaching your hands up. Hands up. But come to the top of your arm bone. Let it slide back into your joint. Feel the release in the neck and across the shoulders when you do that. Then exhale, come back down. Crossing in the front, coming up again. Reach out in front of you, palms up. Bring your arms back down. Crossing in the front, coming up. Closing to prayer. Feel grounded, feel centered. And then release. Let your hands come down. So now, even if you're not in the back of your chair, come to the back of the chair now so that your chair is right there for your balance. I'm going to stay out here so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to come into my feet, again, be aware of them, and come up onto the ball of the foot and then back onto the heel. So the chair is there if you need it. So just coming back and forth. One more time. Let that stop. So we're going to come into some balancing now. So I'm going to start to bring one foot forward. I'm going to bring the heel to toe if you can, if that's available today. If not, if you feel shaky here, keep your foot wide. It doesn't matter. What matters in balancing is that you can calm yourself down, right? So I'm going to do the heel to toe. You don't have to. It's good to have your eyes settled somewhere that's not moving in the room. Find one spot. Okay, so I'm going to bring hands to hips. Remind myself to keep my breath low. And then I'm going to bring arms overhead. Keep your focus somewhere that's not moving, and we'll come into dynamic arm movement. So ready? One arm comes out front, one to the side, shoulder height. Come back up. Go the other way. Come back up. Same thing. Coming up. The other way. Coming up. Close to prayer. When you can feel steady and stable here, find crane. So I'm going to bring my arms out, elbows are bent, wrists are relaxed. And you can come in to put your foot right on the floor or lift your leg. This is crane. Let the front foot just relax. Keep breathing. I'm going to find shrub. So I'm going to bring ball of foot onto floor, heel onto ankle. I bring my hands into prayer, but you might be more comfortable having your hands out up above you or on your hips, whatever lets you feel more secure. So this is shrub. If you'd like to join me in tree, slide your foot along the calf. But don't feel like you have to do tree. Practice wherever you are. I'm going to come back into crane. Little flight. Let yourself land. Take a breath. Let that side go. We're going to try the other side. So I'm going to start to bring one foot in front of the other. Maybe that's already a challenge for you. Just accept wherever you are with your balance. I'm going to bring heel to toe if that's available today. For me, balance changes every day. I just have to see where it is. Feel your toes. Most of my weight is on the back foot. Just notice where yours is. Doesn't matter. I'm going to bring hands to hips. And if you'd like to join me, bring your hands overhead. Dynamic balance motion. One arm to the front, one to the side. Come back up. Go the other way. Come back up. Same thing. Coming up. The other side. Coming up. Close to prayer. Feel grounded, feel stable, and then find crane. Foot can stay on floor, or it can come up. Keep your breath moving, let your hands relax, let that foot relax. Great, I'm going to find shrub, ball of foot on floor, heel to ankle, coming into prayer, or wherever you like your arms. If you'd like to try tree, slide your sole right up the calf. Remember, you don't have to do tree, doesn't matter. I can't always hold it, as you can see. Doesn't matter. Come back into crane. Little flight, and then let yourself relax. Take a nice deep breath. Let it go. You might shake your hands out, your foot, whatever feels good. Okay. So we're going to come now into a strengthening of the legs. So we came into the outside of thigh, inside. We're going to work our way around the back. So now I am going to stand behind the chair. And I'm going to hold lightly onto the chair. Try not to lean on the chair. Try to use your own strength. Let your hands just rest on the chair for balance. So I'm going to put my weight on one foot and then bring the leg out to the side and then come back down. So before we do this, we're going to do it 12 times, but notice this. Sometimes when the muscles in your legs are weak, you take your toe, you lead with your toe first. Be careful, lead with your heel. Right? So there's a difference there. So let's come into this. Ready? I'm going to do 12 times. Lead with your heel. 1, 2, and you're going slow because you're bringing your leg down. You're not just dropping it. 4, 5, 6, 7. You have a light touch on the chair. 8. Lead with your heel. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great. Let's come to the other side. Ready? Lead with your heel. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the heel, take your time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and release. Take a nice breath. Okay. We're going to move around towards the back of the leg now, getting the very back of the leg. To do that, you're just going to lift the foot up towards the back. So I can feel a stretch in the front of the thigh, and I can feel a tightness back here. When I come down, I'm going to stop at the leg. 2, 3, so you're not kicking your foot out forward. 4, 5, and that way, 6, you're using your muscle, not momentum. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and release. Come to the other leg. So ready? Bring the leg back. 1, 2, 3, 4, only coming to the second leg. 5, not kicking out forward. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and release. So let's do something for the hip and loosen up the hip joint a bit. Righty? So we're going to circle from the hip. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come to the other leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so let's ease up on the back a little. I'm going to just move the chair to the front of the mat, and then we're going to come into down dog using the top of the chair. So hold lightly onto the chair and then walk back. Walk back as far as your arms will let you go. And then bring your hips way back over the chair. Now let your head be right between your arms. Ask your tailbone to reach for the ceiling. And then just feel the stretch. Feel good. When you're ready, walk forward again. We're going to do the same thing again because it feels really good. But notice this. When you take your arms up, when they're overhead and your hands are on the chair, tuck your arm bone back into the joint. That's going to feel really good across the back of the neck and along the shoulders. So, ready? Walk back again. As far as your arms will let you go. And then bring your hips way back over your feet. Your knees are not locked, so let your knees be a little soft. Come to the arm bone, tuck it back into the shoulder joint, and maybe round your armpit towards one another. That releases tension in the neck. Now reach the tailbone for the ceiling. When you're ready, walk back forward. Take a nice deep breath. Great. So we're going to find now Warrior Two. So let yourself stand wide on your mat. I'm going to move the chair so that you can see me, but if you would like your chair right there, it's not going to be in your way. You could leave it right there. So I'm just going to set it aside for me so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to come wide on the mat. So most of us try to do this with our feet not so wide. Try to go wider. If you're worried about your balance, you could put your chair here too, right? So feet are wide. Feel your shoulders right over your hips. Connect the xiphoid process, this part right at the sternum, connect it with your tailbone. That keeps you from arching your back. Turn your front foot towards the front of the mat. The back foot is either parallel to the back of the mat or a 45-degree angle. So when you bend your front knee, keep your center line center. Center line center. Sometimes we tend to go forward. You want to keep your weight right over your hips. Look at your knee. Don't let your knee be here. Keep it straight up and down, right? Straight up and down. Arms float up. Now you can hold really tight for Warrior Two, or you can let your arms be what I call loosey-goosey. Just let them float, right? Keep the back leg straight, so push into the outside of that foot. Look out over the middle finger of the front hand. You can relax your hand. And we're holding this for quite a while. If your arms get tired, turn your hands over. You could always just let your arms drop, that would be okay. But if you can, find the energy in your hands. Slide the energy through your arms right into your shoulder joint and then into your core. We're going to come into a side angle stretch. So I'm going to bring this hand, you can place it on your leg. I tend to hold it right into my ribs, and then stack your joints, your shoulders. If your arm lets you, bring it all the way over. Now you could bring your arm forward, slide your shoulder back, and then come back into it. Come back into Warrior Two. Find your pose. Dancing warrior, back hand goes back, front hand goes up. Warrior Two. Take a breath, exhale, arms float down, legs straightens. Walk your legs together. We'll go to the other side. So I'll move this chair just as a reminder that you could have this here for balance if you'd like. Take your legs wide. Just relax in it. We don't often get a chance to take our legs so wide, but it actually feels really good. Feel this energy from your hip now. Take it right down the outside of your leg, right through the ankle, push it into the floor. Notice that your shoulders are right over your hips. When we're ready for the pose, turn your foot towards the front of the mat. Back foot is parallel to the back of the mat or at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to bend my front knee. Center line, stay center. Bend the knee, make sure it's right over your ankle. come into your thighs, hug your thighs into the bone. All of the difficulty or the challenge of this pose is in your legs. You can just let your arms float up now. So you don't have to be tight, let them be relaxed. Let yourself just breathe in the pose. And what I mean by that is let your body breathe. I'm never holding tight, I'm keeping relaxed, keeping focused, but not tight. Your arms are about the same height. We're going to come into our side angle. So I'm going to bring hand in. You can put it on the leg. I'm going to put mine, tuck it right into the rib, and then stack your shoulders. Careful not to roll over. Stack your shoulders, and if your arm lets you bring it over, push into that front knee again. Back into Warrior Two. Dancing Warrior, back hand back, front hand forward. Come back into Warrior Two. Take a breath, exhale, arms float down, legs straightens. Walk your legs together. Just feel, close your eyes, see what you feel like. Open and close your hands. And then just shake it out.